been following this story for a while now. I was gonna do a video on this initially, but I rejected to put out the video that I already recorded on this because I don't know, there's just something cruel from my perspective about putting out a video expressing, I don't know, your distrust of a mother that could be potentially grieving when I didn't really have 100% of the answers. I didn't know with 100% certitude that this woman was lying. But now that arrests have been made, I feel like it's appropriate now for me to drop this video. And I'm talking about the Emmanuel Haro situation. So his mother, Rebecca, initially came on national news and she announced that she was in the parking lot and somebody came up from behind her. They said, "Hola." And then after that, she was knocked out on the ground and woke up to her son disappearing and don't know where her son at. Now, a lot of people seen the grieving mother, seen the theatrics, and they automatically gave her a side eye. But because a lot of us recognize like how that could look, a lot of us just kind of contained our real feelings about this, our real opinions about this, and kind of just push for this kid to be returned safely. Try not to, really cast judgment on the mother. But the police had different plans from us, bruh. From day one, they wasn't buying nothing she was saying.
I'm begging you, please, if anything, if you know anything, please, I'm just begging you to bring him back. I took him out of the car seat and I laid him on the chair. And I had his diapers right here. And then someone said, "Hola." And I couldn't even turn, and I was just, I don't remember nothing. I got up off the floor and I didn't see my child. Someone took him from me. I came back to get my phone and call 911. I ran the whole perimeter and there's nothing here. I didn't see him. I didn't see nothing. Nobody saw nothing. There's no cameras here. There's no lighting.
To the person who took my son, please just give him back to us. We'll forgive you. We won't bother you. We just want our baby boy.
He has little wavy hair and light brown hair, so soft, like a feather, with beautiful brown eyes. Beautiful baby, energetic, very playful, very happy.
Don't hurt him and please feed him. Take care of him.
Please don't hurt him and protect him and just bring him back to his parents that love him.
There's some clear and obvious red flags here. Just the body language, how they're acting, don't really seem genuine. How you get a black eye if they punched you from the back. But again, like that's not really like too pressing enough to where you would come out and express to a grieving mother that you don't believe her, even though the story, does kind of seem a little crazy. But that could easily be explained away by claiming, "Hey, he punched me from the back, but I fell forward and hit my head and went unconscious. And when I fell forward, my eyes got bruised." But some of the red flags that began to come about almost immediately was when the police alerted the public that when they met with the parents and they let them know, "Hey, we don't necessarily believe the full story. We think there's some inconsistencies here. Could you clarify the inconsistency?" They shut down the interview and didn't want to speak further. When the police followed up and asked them, "Hey, can you guys take a lie detector test?" They refused. I don't know about y'all. If my 7-month-old kid was out there, was kidnapped, and I could do anything to help my kid get returned back, I'm doing whatever it takes, bro. I'm not worried about how to protect myself. I'm worried about how can I bring my kid back. And the fact that they turned down the lie detector test and then shut down the interview with the police once the police expressed that they are seeing some inconsistency here, to me, that was all that I needed to know, that these parents, they weren't all the way right.
By Vincent Hughes, he's an attorney who has represented Jake Haro in past cases and is speaking on Jake's behalf today. Hey, Vincent, thank you for doing this today. Big question. Why have Rebecca and Jake stopped cooperating with the police if they're desperate to find the baby and the police are looking for the baby?
I don't know where the statement that they stopped cooperating came from, Ashley. I spoke to the detectives yesterday, offered for Jake to continue to speak with them, have not been made aware of any requests today to speak with Jake. I don't represent Rebecca. That needs to be very clear, but I have not been asked to produce Jake. I offered to produce Jake. They voluntarily turned over all of their electronic devices including the passwords. I think that's something that's huge that nobody has been made aware of.
Let me just stop you for 1 second. I don't want to interrupt you, but you just said you don't know where the statement came from, Mr. Hughes. I'm going to read you the statement the police sent to us. Investigators interviewed multiple individuals, including Emmanuel's parents, Jake and Rebecca Haro. During those interviews, Rebecca was confronted with inconsistencies in her initial statement and declined to continue with the interview. So the statement came from the police themselves.
And I can't speak to the statement that was sent to you. I can tell you, I have personal knowledge. I reached out to the assigned detective and made Jake available.
Up until this point, I was like, listen, man, maybe we tripping, man. Maybe, just maybe, we just reading too much into this. If the police start second guessing you, start questioning you, well, yeah, it's kind of smart to not continue the interview, because if they treating you like a suspect, I was trying to make up excuses in my mind for them because I don't want to believe that parents will do this to their kid. That's until I seen Jake's criminal record. Once I seen Jake's criminal record, I say, yeah, sorry, buddy, you're guilty, jail, lock him up, do life. But simultaneously, I began to feel some pity for Rebecca, but not enough pity to think she's innocent. Not enough pity to think that, she's like an innocent bystander here, but enough pity to think maybe Jake did something horrific to this child and he's willing her into this to protect them. Because Jake's criminal record was put on full blast. See, not only is Jake being accused of doing something horrific to the 7-month-old kid that's currently missing, Jake is being accused of doing something horrific to his 10-week-old daughter, who he brutalized so violently that she's currently left with only 3% of brain function. But Jake was only sentenced to 6 months in prison and probation afterwards.
Tonight it is Jake's past, however, that is becoming a lot more worrisome. Yesterday we learned about his felony child cruelty conviction, the one that put him in jail for 6 months back in 2023. Both Jake and his ex-wife Vanessa Avila pleaded guilty to the charges, and tonight we have learned that crime was committed against his own 10-week-old baby girl, a child who survived but suffered horrendous lifelong injuries. We've got photos of the child, and I should tell you that the family has given us permission to show those photos, likely as a warning about Jake Haro. But I do want to tell you this. When we show you those photos, they are quite disturbing, so fair warning in advance. Here is the little girl in her hospital bed, 10 weeks old. She is recovering here from several fractures to her ribs, to her skull, and to her legs. She is also recovering from a brain hemorrhage. This little girl was eventually removed from the Haro home, and she was adopted by one of Vanessa's cousins. That cousin has cared for this little girl and even renamed her. Her new name is Promise Faith. According to the cousin, Promise is now 7 years old, but take a look at this picture. The damage that she suffered from those injuries was permanent. Promise was left blind. Promise was left unable to walk. Promise was left unable to talk and unable to swallow due to strangulation. We are told from this cousin that Promise has 3% brain function, that Promise needs a feeding tube, and that Promise will need round-the-clock care for the rest of her life. So let's just contemplate this as you see these pictures. Jake Haro, who beat this child, received 6 months in jail and probation afterwards. The same cousin who adopted this little girl, Promise, also took in Jake's oldest son, who she says was born with fetal alcohol syndrome. That child was named after his father, Jake, but the cousin also renamed the little boy. His new name is Carlos. And now this same cousin who has taken in 2 of Jake Haro's children, one that Jake Haro beat into a lifelong condition. Another that was born with fetal alcohol syndrome. Now this cousin is caring for a third child removed from the Haro home just this week.
I applaud the police for removing the 2-year-old child that was living with them while they're continuing this investigation. But why is Jake a free man? Now, I know he pled guilty. So this was part of a plea deal, right? The short jail sentence. And then he had like an extended probation for a couple years after that. But why is he free? Seeing what they did to that child's life would never be the same again. That child's life is permanently destroyed. That child's life, again, I don't want to say over, man, but that child had a promising life. That child had a normal and fulfilling life. Now that child is handicapped for the rest of her life because of Jake, and he's free after 6 months? How is that fair? That should have been a life sentence within itself. He should be barred, banned from having kids. So if Jake would do that to a 10-week-old, do you think that I'm not going to think that he did the exact same thing to a 7-month-old? But this time around, instead of handicapping or leaving a baby with a 3% brain function, he killed him. Killed him. And that's why we can't find the baby. Right? It's no coincidence at all, man, that this man has a history of brutalizing his children. And then the one child that we can't find, somebody can't, really? Now, after the entire week went by, because, after it became perfectly clear nobody was buying these people's BS, we're not buying the tears, the crocodile tears, searchers came to their home, right, to help them search for the kid, and they kicked the searchers off their property, said, go, leave, we don't. So that Grieving Parent Act went away fast once it became perfectly clear that they was in a crosshair and they could potentially be picked up. Well, after a week of investigation, after they confiscated their phones, their vehicles, searched their home, brought cadaver dogs, so police have announced they've officially arrested Rebecca and Jake, not on missing baby investigation, no, on murder investigation.
Update on that breaking news in the case of a missing 7-month-old boy we need to get to. Assignment manager Mark Liu is at the desk. Mark, what have you learned now?
There is a significant major development in the search for 7-month-old Emmanuel Haro. The San Bernardino County sheriffs have just shared on social media that the parents of the missing 7-month-old have now been arrested for murder. This is the post that was just shared by San Bernardino County Sheriffs on X. It says, update August 22nd, that's today. This morning, detectives from the Sheriff's Homicide Detail and Specialized Enforcement Division have arrested Jake and Rebecca Haro at their residence in Cabazon for PC 187, which is murder. Investigators will continue their search for 7-month-old Emmanuel Haro. Now, SkyCal is over the scene right now. This is the Haro residence on Ramona Avenue in Cabazon. We see down there a San Bernardino County Sheriff's investigator with gloves on going through what appears to be debris or garbage at the rear of the structure. They've also been walking around the property looking for evidence. Now, several of the detectives have already left, but there are still law enforcement agents there. Let me show you some video that was a little bit earlier. This is drone video that we have obtained a little bit earlier in the morning that shows the San Bernardino County Sheriff's activity there, multiple unmarked detectives units and an armored vehicle. We now know that both parents, Rebecca and Jake Haro, have been taken into custody. The charge, murder. The search for their 7-month-old son still continuing. Now, this investigation has significantly changed in the last several days. It started last Thursday, August 14th, when Rebecca Haro said she was changing 7-month-old Emmanuel's diaper behind a Big Five sporting goods store in Yucaipa when she alleges someone came up from behind her, struck her in the head, and when she woke up, her baby boy was gone. Now, the sheriffs immediately investigated, but they have since changed the status of this investigation from a kidnapping to a critical missing child investigation. The family's pickup truck was taken for evidence, but we can now confirm this has turned into a murder investigation. While
I can't even begin to comprehend what a 7-month-old could do to you to get you so angry that you would want to kill him. He cried too much? He pooped? Bro, that's what babies do, bruh. Nincompoop? I don't even, yo, I'm really trying to, what could a 7-month-old do to you? What? Yo, I really hope, man. I really hope, man, they get the karma that they got coming to them. And I don't know what type of, first off, what type of mother will want to procreate with a man with that history? And even if you want to say, oh, I didn't know the history, okay. What type of mother will stage a kidnapping to protect a potential murder investigation of your own child? And that's me giving her the benefit of the doctor claim that she didn't do the killing. Because from Jake's past, I can only assume that Jake is the one who probably let his anger get it. But I don't know. The lengths that she taking to protect Jake, maybe she's involved too. But either way, even if she didn't do it, give them both the, man, yo, what I want to say, YouTube will ban me if I say it. So I'm going to just stop the video here, bro. Man, jail, they should treat jail like a vacation, bro. Because that's the best possible option for them. Let them, y'all let me know in the comment section, bro. What do y'all think about this, bro? What do y'all think, man? As if there's any other way to think but, yo, these are garbage human beings and they should do death? But let me know what y'all think about this, man. And if you're still watching, click on this video here somewhere on my screen to find out why Fat Joe just keeps getting worse and why he's currently in the middle of another controversy. I'm going to see you guys in this video somewhere on my screen. I'm out of here, folks. Peace.